y'all, and welcome back to another episode of City Sim Builds. So we're back here in Two Rivers County, and since we've been back here, I did a live stream, I think that was about a week ago or so. In the live stream, we did a lot of little things. We added some fire coverage, we expanded this little industrial area over here. As you can see, we have a lot of new industry, because that's something that we've been encountering a lot is increased industrial demand. The other thing that we did was we added more industrial over here, and we have another fire. So yeah, that seems to be the theme now with the build, is a lot of fires. And I think that's because I've added in a lot of trees, as you can see. The other thing that we did was we took a look at traffic and we made some improvements to our traffic. It's not perfect, but I think things are looking better except for this general area. And I think one of the solutions that I'm going to have to end up doing is provide some more access over here, on the other side of the university campus, and probably extend this road out over this way and have another interchange somewhere along in here. But we're not going to be focusing on that today, because what we're going to be focusing on is this island off in the distance. Ever since I saw this map, I really wanted to create an island community over here, and we're going to do that today. This is going to be something pretty simple. I'm hoping to have, probably two little portions of the community, one over here, and the main portion of the community being right here. And the rest of the island, I really want this to be a park space. So with that, we're going to have to provide some sort of ferry connection from here to over there at River Pointe. The other thing that we did in the live stream was we created a ferry along the river. And this has been working pretty well for us. I might make some changes to this road, but overall I think this is working pretty well. But the intention here is to have a ferry system that is split into two. One where we're focusing on the river on this side, and then another one that's focusing on the coastal area. And the main reason for that is this area right here. As you can see, this is a very intense grade. I know in the game you can have ferries that go up and down here, but I just don't think that's realistic, and I don't really like that. But wow, yeah, River Pointe's looking really good from over here. I like that. So in today's episode, I want to extend the roadway system down here along the coast, and I want to build a new ferry terminal and ferry depot, and then provide access over here to the new island and get started on that development. But before we get into today's episode, if you could do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, that would be really, really helpful. Also, leave a comment down below about what you want to see in the build coming up. That would also be very helpful. I always look forward to seeing your comments whenever I post a video. It's interesting to see your feedback, and I really like to make changes in the build based on what I see. Also, if you could hit the like button as well, that really, really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. But with all that said, let's get into today's episode. Alright, and the first thing I want to do is I want to come over here and check on this ferry system that we have for the river real quick. So right now we just have one ferry line. We'll call this the river line. And so far we have 44 passengers and 5 vehicles. I think 5 vehicles might be a little too much, so I'm going to bring this down to say 2. And we'll go from there, and that'll help us save a little bit of money. But I also wanted to take a look at the ferry lines I created in the live stream, because I don't think I did a really good job of this. So I want to take a look at that and fix a couple things. So yeah, right off the bat, I'm seeing a few things that I want to change. So we don't need this. And I want to make sure that this is connected, because I had Anarchy on when I was creating this, and I want to make sure that this is actually providing a connection here. Okay, perfect. All right, let's take a look and see how we're doing with our ferries. Wow, 50 of 50 passengers. That's doing really great. So looking at our system now, I think this makes much more sense. One thing I did off camera was I got rid of a secondary line here, which we don't need. This is kind of like a there and back again sort of situation. And what is happening over here? Let's take a look at this and see what's going on. Low land values. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna have to do something to address that. Maybe we can put in a few parks maybe, and that will help things out. We do have lots of parks in here. I don't really understand why that might be the case. I'm gonna go through and place a few dog parks and see if that helps things out a little bit. Yeah, this is pretty peculiar to me, why we have low land values. Interesting, and it's over here as well in Pinewood Shores. Oh, do we have an electrical issue? I think we might have an electrical issue. At least over here. I think that's the problem. We are not providing electricity to the industrial area over here, and that's having an impact on the employment situation over here in Rivertown. Let's see if that takes care of things. So that fixed itself. Oh, and I do not like that. Let's turn off guidelines for a second. I really just want to get this right there. Okay, perfect. All right, hopefully this will help out our situation with the low land values, because like this is pretty systemic and just kind of happening everywhere over here. I wonder if it's over in... No, it's not over here in River Pointe, so things are okay there. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna let the game run for a bit, and we'll come back and take a look at this and see if that can kind of resolve itself. I don't see any other like major issues like traffic or anything like that, so yeah, I'm kind of stumped on this one. All right, let's get focused in on the main thing that I want to do in today's episode. And before we get over to the island, we need to create a new ferry system over here along the coast. So I want to place a new road that will be the focal point for future development along the coast that will provide access to River Pointe over here. So I'm going to go ahead and place that in now. And I realize I just placed the wrong kind of road. So let's go ahead and upgrade this real quick. Okay, so now that we have the correct road selected, let's use the freeform road tool and get something placed in over here that kind of follows the coast a little bit better. And let's cut contours on to make sure that we're following the actual terrain. Okay, and I think that's good for right now. And I noticed the budget is tanking really hard right now, and I'm gonna take a look at things and see if I can figure this out real quickly. So it seems like we're losing population. Let's take a look at the area and see what is going on. Why do we have low land values? So happiness seems to be okay. So taking a look at our land values, I'm pretty confused by what is going on. So healthcare, we're doing fine. Death care, we're doing okay. Child care is okay. Elder care is okay. We have, I think, pretty decent fire coverage for the most part, at least in like the cities. Crime is low, that's good. Education is fine. We probably could use another high school. And maybe what we'll do is place another high school and see if that will help things out a little bit. I know this isn't going to terraform that great. Yeah. All right, I think what I might do is just kind of manually terraform through here and see if that helps things out a little bit. I think what I'm gonna do is flatten out through here a little bit and come back later and we'll build like a high school campus that kind of is fitting over here. So maybe something like that, and then I'll come back and soften the terrain while I'm here. Yeah, and I am just confused by why we have this, but I'm gonna let this kind of run for a little bit and see if it kind of resolves itself. So let's get back over here to where we're gonna build our ferry. So the first thing we're gonna need is a ferry depot, and I'm gonna place that along in here, I think right about there. And then the other thing we'll need is a ferry stop. So I'm gonna also place this a little bit further down like that. And before we connect these up, I do wanna check this roadway grade and make sure that it seems to be okay. All right, so we got 0.3s, and then up here it's pretty intense. So now we have ones. I think that's okay. I'm gonna have to terraform through here as well. It's just kind of the name of the game, I think, with this map. And before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly provide access to down here where we can connect up with our ferry terminal. Let's check this out. Okay, 6.6, that's fine. 4.6, that's okay. This is going to be, yeah, intense, so we'll do 3.4 there, and then I'm going to come back and smooth all of this out. And it seems I went a little overboard over here, so I'm going to not, that's too much. That's way too much. Let's cut down the brush size and the brush strength and kind of just like flatten out through here a little bit. See if we can get some normalcy through here. Okay, I think that'll be fine for right now. So I'm gonna quickly run water and power over here, and then we'll get started planning our ferry route. Okay, so we have water and power, and things should start to resolve themselves over here pretty soon. I think I'm gonna go through where I have some abandonments and place some amenities real quickly and see if that helps things out. Yeah, I am just still pretty perplexed by this. So I'm going to let that be and just focus on the main part of today's episode. All right, so let's come over here to the island and let's find a good spot where we can create our ferry terminal. So I'm thinking I like this spot. It's got some challenging terrain, but I think what I'm going to do is have a road that runs up here and kind of hugs the coast a little bit. I think that'll look really cool. Okay, so we have our ferry stop and we'll place that right there. And then let's pick a regular 2-lane road, and I'm going to use the freeform road tool and just start placing a road that kind of meanders its way up the hillside here. And then when we get over here, maybe we'll have a straight flat section for just like a little bit. All right, let's go and check the grades through here real quick. Okay, 2.4, that is very reasonable. I am liking that. And I think what I'm going to do for power over here is I'm going to provide some advanced wind turbines that are offshore a little bit. So I'm going to place these a little bit of a distance away like that. Maybe we'll do 4 total. I think that'll be good. And now I want to go ahead and place our ferry routes through here. So let's connect this up. Let's see where we have to go. We have to come across over here. Maybe we'll curve around this way. Something like that. Yeah, and nothing too fancy here. Just trying to get things connected up. All right, not the most pretty line ever, but I think it'll be fine. Then we'll get this connected up as well. This is the ferry depot. Something like that. Yeah, maybe we just had like a really big population boom over here with River Pointe, and maybe that caused some stress over here. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm just really confused. If you have any thoughts about what's going on over here, definitely leave that down in the comments, because I mean, demand-wise, I think we're doing fine with everything. The only thing I can think of is maybe to place some elder care, something like that, and child care, because we don't really have any over here in Rivertown. So we'll do an elder care and let's do child care as well. So I'm trying to find some spots where we have some abandonment and fit this in. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, and let's do one over here as well. All right, and hopefully that helps things out. Yeah, yeah, I keep getting distracted with whatever is happening over here. And it seems like it's happening in Summit Peak as well. Yeah, very perplexing indeed. Okay, so back over here, let's take a look at what we need. So we do have power. I'm confused if this is actually reaching, and it's not. So what I might do is move one of these, probably this one. There we go, like that. And I think that'll be good for us with getting power over here. And for water, I think what I'm going to do is place a water tower. I think that makes the most sense because over here it's probably like salt water, so you wouldn't want to have something where you have a water pump that's pumping in salt water and then having to desalinate it. I think that wouldn't make sense. I think you would need to utilize this geological feature over here to make use of the water runoff from that with a spring or something like that. So before I place that, I want to place some more roadways through here so that hopefully it makes a little bit more sense with the terrain. So I think this is going to be kind of tricky. I want to hug the terrain over here to where we can get all the way over here where we have a flatter piece of land to have some more development. And gosh, I am not happy with what just happened there. I'm going to redo this. Yeah, I'm not pleased with how this turned out. I think instead what I'm going to do is grid out over here how I want this to be, and then have this road connect up over here along the coast in a much more logical fashion. And don't know why this is digging down into the ground so much. So I have it set to be on the ground. Yeah, I don't know why this is doing that. Let's see. Do I have some sort of setting on that I don't need to have on? And I wonder if I just like pre-grade through here, if that will help things out. I don't really understand what is going on. I feel like I'm having a lot of issues today with various things. It's just one of those days, I guess. So I'm just going to pre-grade through here and we'll see how that works out. Like if I go in and place a road now, don't know why it's looking like it's underground. Like, that's so bizarre. Yeah, this is very strange. So I'm gonna save and then log back into the game and see if that fixes things. And I'll be back in a little bit. All right, I think things are okay. I don't know what happened, but I think maybe there's like a mod issue, or maybe I had an update or something. I have no idea, but it seems like I can place roads now, like on the surface here if I want to, and everything is fine. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and the 2-lane roads work fine. Let's try that one. Yeah, that seems to be more normal. Okay. Let's get rid of some of these windows that are blocking our view here. Yeah, and for whatever reason, I can't get rid of zoning adjuster, so I'm just going to put it over here in the corner, and I think that's just going to have to be fine for today. And I'll bring this down here at the bottom. So what I was doing before was I was pre-grading through here a little bit, and I think I'm going to continue to do that. So I'm going to find some areas to make some, not some big holes, that would not be good. Make some flat patches through here so that we can have like kind of like a terraced sort of feel to the area. So I think that'd be good. That'd be good. And then maybe over here I'll grab this and extend it out a little bit. And yeah, I think that'd be fine. And once I get some development over here, we can go and change some of the terrain here to make it look a little bit more natural. So we have our crazy road over here, and I think that's just gonna have to be the case. So let's see if we can have something that will connect up with that over there. So I think through here, I'm gonna have 2 roads, and they're gonna be about, I think, what is that? 6 units apart, something like that? No, that's 5, but yeah, I think that'll be fine. And then here, I'm going to create a curve. It goes around like this. And then we'll do the same thing here, maybe. Actually, let's use a straight road segment, connect up like that. So we'll go, what was it, 5? No, that can't be right. 7, excuse me, it's 7 units. So we'll go up 7, and then we'll connect up here like that. Okay, that's looking good. Then I'm just gonna continue this one straight up like that, and then we'll create a curve that goes along the coast here. Something like that. And up here, I'm just creating another road that kind of follows the top part of this terraced area. And then I think up here, I wonder if we can create something that goes back down, if that would be too intense of a grade situation, but let's try to do that anyway. Before we connect things up here, let's check some grades on the things I just made. So what is this? Pretty intense, 11. So we're gonna have to flatten that out a little bit. So I think what I'm gonna do is continue this road on and then have this connect up at some point over here like that. That is looking a little bit better. So let's check the grades again. Okay, 4.9. That is looking better. Yeah, I like that. So let's bring this over like that, and then we'll... Actually, before we connect up, let's check the grades here, because I know this area is probably pretty intense as well. So let's go to, say, here, and down here. Okay, that actually wasn't too bad. Okay, excellent, excellent. Let's check this. Down to here. Yeah, we had a few spots there that were looking a little off. Okay, perfect. I'm liking the way this is looking. So let's back this up a little bit, and then we'll bring this in over here. Let's actually start here and let's create a 90 like that. I think I need to get a little bit closer. Something like that, yeah. Okay, I'm liking that. That looks pretty good. And through here, we'll connect up like that. Then over here, we'll come off, and let's see if we can meet up somewhere in here. Maybe just do a straight section like that. I think that'd be fine. And I want to provide another little back road through here that kind of meanders its way back over to this road here. Yeah, cool. And I think the grades are decent enough in here where I can get some, yeah, just some kind of like funky roadway connections in here. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And before we continue with this, let's get a road that connects back over this way. So I am going to cut contours back on, and then let's see if we can find something that meets back up over here. And then maybe what we'll do, since we were having issues earlier, let's get rid of this section. Because I'm not happy with how that came out. Yeah, especially now since whatever was happening, we're not getting these like crazy, like, I don't know, like depressions where the earth was just like being really sunken in or something. I don't know what was going on. Let's back that up. And then for this, let's just carry this straight for a segment. And it's, okay, interesting. Now it's starting to do that thing again. So this is the normal unmodded road placement behavior. This is forcing it at ground, and something is happening with these two. That's just kind of funky, but I'll kind of deal with that as I'm playing, and I think things will be okay. So we'll start there, and let's grade up to here. There we go. That's looking much better. Smooth out some of the bumpiness and everything. And let's just check grades through here. They should be pretty flat. Maybe we can go all the way to there. Yeah, 8.8. Okay, that looks okay. Sorry, not 8.8, 0.8. So let's double check through here. 5.8, that looks good. That should be pretty decent. Yeah, 0.8. Got it down to 0.1. Okay. And I want to check this one more time just to be sure. Yeah, that's looking good. And I think that has everything taken care of over here. And then on this side, let's see if we can place a few roads. And it's now doing the weird thing again. And it goes to this like white screen. Okay, I don't really know what the deal is with that. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna have to do for the rest of this episode is just take off network anarchy and then see if that resolves things. So I'll be back again. Okay, so I have network anarchy cut off and hopefully that will do the trick here. Let's see and find out. So if I come along over here, something like that. Okay, that seems to be working. Okay, good. All right, let's upgrade that road that we just placed. And I'm gonna build like a little area of residential right through here. And I'm not liking that connection or this. So let's come over here and look at it from this point of view. So if I have something that stubs out, we're gonna have to create a node for this. And I think that'll be okay. So we'll come out like this and curve it around about like so. I think that's okay. Then I think truthfully I'm going to come in and redo this section as well. So we have a little stub out for that, and then I'll take this and meet up here and get a nice 90 there. Now let's adjust the grades through here to make them a little bit flatter. So that's 0.8. So let's come around this way. Okay, I'm raising that up a good bit, actually. I'm gonna have to fill that in. Let's go ahead and take care of that right now. Okay, so we don't need an intense brush size. So let's, oh, that is not right. That is not what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's go in and flatten that out a little bit. And then we'll just even this up a little bit around this way. All right, I'm liking that. And it looks like we still have some sort of relic road under, like, what is this? Yeah, something's going on with the network multi-tool. I mean, not network multi-tool, the network anarchy. So yeah, just very, very puzzling. But I think what I'm gonna do here is use this roadway segment and come up at a 90 and have a turn that comes up that will slope up and then have some additional development up here. So for this, I'm gonna use the freeform road tool and just get a nice connection in like that. And the grade there is pretty wild right now, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. We're gonna come back and adjust that here in a minute. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's see what the damage was with that slope, because I know it was pretty intense. Yeah, 24.5. Let's continue this on over here. And 6.6 is a much more reasonable grade. Okay, we'll even things out over there. And then up here, I think what I'm gonna do, if this grading situation won't be too bad, is come off here to 90, then have something that comes over like this. Let's actually change to the freeform road tool and come over like that, and maybe just end about here. And then we can continue this road on a little bit. And for the sake of lining this up, I'm gonna continue that on, connect this up, and then delete this segment right there. Okay, that's pretty close to a 90. I think that'll be fine. All right, and then let's fix the grades here. And this, I think, will eventually terrace this area a little bit, similar to what we had on the other side of the island. Okay, that's 1%, but that's not what I was trying to do. Got it down to 0.5. All right, let's come around this way. And I'm selecting each of these nodes just to make sure that I have this arc kind of selected. And that's going to terrace this section, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did over here and flatten out a little bit. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Just kind of even things up here a little bit. And just to have a little bit more land to develop, I'm gonna flatten out through here just a little bit. Something like that. Good, I think that's looking pretty good. All right, so let's place our water tower, finally. And with the water tower, I'm gonna place it up here where it's kind of at a higher elevation, because that way it can be like hopefully gravity fed. At least I'm gonna say it's gonna be gravity fed. But I think that makes a lot of sense to have it placed up this high. So let's put some water pipes under the roads, and then we'll be back shortly. All right, and I think that has the whole island covered for the most part. So what I'm going to do is treat this as like the main commercial center. And actually what I might do, I think this would be actually a good spot for this. I'm going to place another ferry stop. So let's put that right there. And this might be kind of a pretty crazy grade, but I think that'll be okay. Let's see if we can get something in here. And I wonder if we can get a road that just does like a really quick sort of switch back through here. It might not be possible, but let's... Okay, well first, let's see how bad it is of a grade here. I know it's going to be pretty bad, but I just want to see if it's something we can work with. We'll just connect something up like that just to see. Yeah, 12.6, that is something. I wonder if we can elevate this. How bad does that look? It's pretty high. It's pretty high. I think I'm just going to be okay with that and let some of the silliness in the game. Yeah, that's 7.2. Yeah. So the reason I want to have two ferry stops is I'm kind of viewing this as two parts to the island, one over here and then one over here. So I think like what I might do, for example, over here is place another water tower. And let's do that right here. Oh, and I have a pipe selected. That's not what I want. So the slope is too steep there. So maybe what I can do is place it right there. And then we'll connect it up. But yeah, so I'm thinking of this as like two sections, like where this is like the main commercial node for the island. And then everywhere else we're going to have residential. So over here, residential, and then over here, residential. And we'll have a few city services and everything over here as well. So let's go ahead and get that in place. Oh, and before I do that, I want to go ahead and connect the ferry routes with this section over here. Okay, cool. And while we're here, let's go ahead and create our ferry crossing. So we'll create our line that goes from over here to over here, like that. And then it can just come back, kind of like so. Then same thing for this one. We'll create a line that comes over here and follows the path over here to River Pointe, and then can come back again. Excellent. All right, so I want to go ahead and start placing some residential along here and see if we can get power connected up through. And I think for the island down here, I'm going to place an incinerator right here. It's not like the best spot for it, but I think it'll be okay. And we do need some sort of water processing capabilities. So let's think about that for a second. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with just one of the eco inland water systems. So where is a good spot for this? Wish there was a better spot for like a little public works campus on the island. Maybe I'll create one real quick. Okay, cool. I think that will work. So in this case, let's take this. Okay, cool. Academic year report. We have another academic work created. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to move this over here like that. And then I'm going to place the water treatment facility over here as well. Slope too steep. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is relocate this to over here and then flatten out some more area for this facility. And that way we have a little bit extra room over here in case we need to put something else. So I think that'll be fine. Definitely not the most realistic option, but it'll be fine. Let's run some power over here as well. And now we'll do water. Okay, and let's connect up water here, and that should have us covered. Okay, great. And I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and zone this as commercial, and I'm gonna do it on both sides. So over here, I'm gonna do, I think, like 2 units deep, and probably the same thing on this side that's kind of near the like terraced section. And I'm gonna speed things up, and hopefully that will help encourage some of the development to occur over here. And I see we don't have water connected up, and also let's have that connect over here, maybe something like that. So let's place a power line that goes up, kind of connects over here on the backside. Okay, so now we have power and electricity throughout the island. Let's see if things develop over here. Hopefully they do. And we certainly have a lot of ferries. I don't know if we need all these ferries. It's kind of intense, kind of a lot. Yeah, so and now that I'm looking at this, I wonder if we can do something different over here. I think something that we need over here is actually parking. So I'm gonna place a parking deck by the ferry stop and rethink this road connection. I'm gonna redo this as well. And I know this looks pretty ugly, but we're gonna do our usual thing and flatten it out. So let's do that. Let's do soften terrain, and let's bump up the brush size a little bit. See if we can get rid of some of the ugliness here. And let's get rid of this road for a sec. Oh, and I just realized this is not a parking deck. This is absolutely not a parking deck. Let me replace this. And to maybe make this area feel a little bit better, let's terraform and flatten out through here. So let's grab this elevation, just kind of make a spot that's flatter. And that's gonna create like a little cliff section, but I think that'll be okay. Okay, so I went ahead and placed 2 parking decks here, and I think that'll make a lot of sense for this area. Let's get this road back connected to over here. And then let's see if we can get development spurred on the island. And I'm gonna check grades through here. That's a little intense. And then let's check it through here. All right, not bad, not bad. All right, let's soften the terrain through here a little bit. All right, things are not happening. So curious, very curious. I think what I'm gonna do is move one of these over here. Maybe I'll do both these over here so we can have like 2 for each little community. While things are kind of hopefully fleshing out over there, let's take a look at our lines. So we have 0 passengers right now. Interesting. The river line is down to 14, and we're still losing population. And how bad are things over here in River Pointe? Okay, it looks like things have recovered to some degree. That's a good thing. We are still losing a lot of money though, so I wonder what the issue is there. Let's take a look at our budget. So we have a lot of roadway maintenance, but I think that's okay. Health coverage, I think that's fine. If we take electricity down, does that help us out? Do we have extra capacity? Let's see what that does to our electrical availability. Okay, and I think that is fine. It doesn't seem to be having a super major effect on things. These burned down areas are just bothering me, so I'm gonna get rid of them. So Summit Peak seems to be okay with land values again. Let's take a look at actual land values over here. Okay, Rivertown looks okay. Pinewood Shores looks to be okay. Might place another park over here or something like that. Summit Peak could use some help. Let's see if we can maybe put like a dog park or something. I feel like the dog park is like the best like park solution for a lot of things, so we'll put one there. Let's check out our education over here. So we have an elementary school. That's looking good. What if we put a library? Do we have one over here? No, we don't. Maybe we can sneak one in. No, it's too steep, I think, there. Let's see. Space occupied. We'll just place it over here for right now. It's not the best location, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, let's go look at our island. We still don't have any development over here. Interesting. Let's look at our lines again. I don't think we need this many lines over here, so let's modify things. So let's bring this down to 2 vehicles. Same thing for this one. And then for the river one, we don't really have that many passengers right now, so I'm gonna bring that down to 1. And hopefully that will help our budget out a little bit. And it doesn't really seem like we have a lot of people coming over here, which is peculiar to me. We have had no passengers. I wonder if there's like a network issue. Let's take a look at that. I think what the problem might be with the development on the island is that there is a lot of vacancies and issues on the mainland. So I'm going to try and take care of some of this, and then hopefully that will help remedy the situation with our growth and our budget. And then once that hopefully is taken care of, then hopefully we'll start to see some growth over here on the island. And before I do that, I want to go through and just zone the rest of the island out real quick. And I'm being kind of cavalier here with some of the zoning, but I think it's fine. There are a couple spots in there that didn't make sense with the zoning, but I think that makes a lot more sense. So we are starting to see some development over here now. So I think things are starting to look a little bit better. And before things fill in over here, I want to place some city services. So let's get in a couple fire stations. I'm gonna place a few of these volunteer fire stations. Let's do one there. Let's maybe do one here. And then we'll do another one. Let's say, how about here? I think that'd be good. And I think we just need kind of like 1 police station for the island, and I think that'll be fine. So I'm gonna place this over here kind of near the commercial area. And then I think 1 elementary school should probably be good. Actually, what I might do instead is a one of these community schools. So we are starting to have some growth over here now. That's good. Oh, and the other thing we'll need is a medical clinic or 2. And maybe what they get over here is a sauna as well. So we'll place a sauna and a couple medical clinics around. And we really just need electricity to hop here, and I think things will be good. And I realize now that I've built pretty much a cul-de-sac over here, so I'm going to try and meander this road back up here to where we can have a good connection. And in looking at that, I think I'm going to place that road coming off this way. So we'll have this go down at a 90. And then here, I'll have to come back to this because I don't have network anarchy on. So I'm going to come back and fix this area when I can make this an elevated section right here. So let's cut on our contours. And I want to get this up here, something like this. Find that and meet up like that. Let's see if we can slope through here to make it seem a little bit better. Okay, 9.8. Ooh, these grades are just no fun. They're just not fun. All right, and I was expecting some weirdness through here because I created this new piece of coastline, and we're just gonna have to work with it to the best we can. And that is not what I meant to do at all. Soften terrain, soften the terrain. Okay, good. So nobody's using the parking deck yet. Keyword yet, but I think they will be in the future. And we have had officially 1 passenger to the island. Yes, I'm going to count that as a success. Excellent. So things over here are looking way better. We have a nice downtown community that's looking good. We have 3 bookstores because I guess people on the island are reading a lot of books. Yeah, I could put a theme here. I think I'm just going to let it roll. Oh, we have a 4th bookstore. Excellent. And we have a lovely gas station right here. Of course. Oh, I don't want a house here. I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to pause and get rid of that. Okay, excellent. So let's check things out over here. We do need electricity. That's important. I think for the time being, I'm just going to place a transformer, and we'll place this next to the fire station. And that'll hopefully help us out a little bit. And I'm going to terraform through here a little bit just to flatten things out. And one thing we did not do was place a district for the island, so I want to go ahead and do that now. Let's increase the district size to be pretty large, and I'm going to look at it from above here. And it looks like we have some sort of castle ruins up here, so I'm going to name this, let's see, how about we call this Castle Rock Island? And that is not how you spell island. Let's fix that. Is land. Excellent. All right, things are filling in very nicely here. I'm very pleased with this. I think in the future, things will look a little bit better through here. But one thing I think we can do is actually zone a little bit more commercial. So let's take a look at our zoning. I think right in here might be a good spot for some commercial. Something about like that. Let's get rid of these two and add in some zoning there. And might put a couple houses through here. Maybe one or two on this side. Oh, nope, did not mean to do that. All right, nice. I think things are looking pretty good over here now. Let's take a look at our lines. Okay, so this ferry stop is now at 53 passengers for the last week. And this one is still at 0. So hopefully this one will get remedied in the future. If not, we might just eliminate it. So that probably means that this one over here is, let's take a look. So last week this had 0 passengers. Interesting. So maybe it was just the start of a new week. All right, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We did a lot today. We built this whole new community over here on Castle Rock Island, and things are slowly starting to fill in. And I think this is going to turn out to be a really nice community that's going to have eventually a state park up here. That's something I want to create. But yeah, I think we have a lot of things going for us right now. We still have some issues with, I think, land value and growth in general, but I might take a look at that off camera and see if I can fix some of that before the next episode. But yeah, I think things are looking pretty good. But yeah, let's take a look back over here. Our commercial district is doing very well. We're starting to have some residential fill in, which is nice. We have that community school, which I think fits in nicely here on the island. Then we have a couple other little pockets of residential that are filling in, and then hopefully the rest of the island will fill in here pretty soon. But with that, I think it's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit the subscribe button. That would really help me out. Also, leave a comment down below what you want to see in the next episode or in future episodes. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. That would really help me out as well. But I'm looking forward to seeing you all back here in Two Rivers County, and hopefully by then I will have figured out some of the issues that I'm having off camera so that the next build will go a little bit more smoothly. But until then, stay tuned for future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one. All right.